Hey Dave, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you here in your dress position looks really good. Your spine is nice and straight and on tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang nice and naturally down out in front of you, and the club works out to the ball. So your posture and your balance at address looks really good. If we go ahead and just take a look at your alignment here, alignment's improving. We can see that your feet are running out in this direction. We'll carry that out towards the fairway here. We know that on camera that parallel lines of which your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet are supposed to converge on screen. So we can see that you're pretty much set up down sort of maybe the right center of the fairway. So no real issue there at all. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. We'll slide you over here just a bit. Now we've got some color-coded lines on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. As we bring the golf club back, we see with Jordan, he creates good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the golf club, and we see the club coming back on plane directly along the red line. From here, we're going to incorporate some good wrist hinge into play where we transition the club head from below to above the hands, and at this point in time, we're going to work the club head from red up towards yellow or blue. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, the left arm in the club should be situated on the yellow line or the blue line, or somewhere within that blue-yellow V zone. And what we can see with Jordan is he sets the left arm in the club situated on the blue line. So he just has a slightly more of a steep set position, as opposed to if we were on yellow, it'd be a slightly more shallow position. He's created full shoulder rotation. He does this about a very stable right leg, keeping the weight on the inside part of that right foot. As we watch you initiate your takeaway here, you draw your hands back very well, turning your shoulders. You still have a tendency of drawing the club head inside, creating sort of a disconnect between the club and the arm. So we're not really keeping that club head out in front of the hands. Now, I think in our last lesson, I think we started to try and do this, but then we got away from it because I think I just wanted to work on, if I can recall, I think I just wanted to concentrate on the top of the backswing, wasn't too concerned about this. So obviously when we get together, we'll want to try and keep that club head out in front of the hands a little bit better. But at the end of the day, you know, as long as we get a little bit more hinge through here, the club's going to recover. And then as long as when we get to the top of the backswing, we're in a pretty decent position, you should be able to come into the golf ball well. I think we were concentrating more on just making sure we were shallow, and more so actually I think working on your pre-impact move. So we want to concentrate on that right now and see how you're doing with your pre-impact position. Anyways, at the top of your backswing, you look really good. Left arm situated pretty much on that yellow line. We have good shoulder rotation. You're rotating off your posture axis, stable right side. Arms are in good position relative to your core, and your club's in good position relative to your arms. As we create a transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left, fire the knees and the hips to the target, unwind the core, and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to bring the golf club from blue back down on top of red, which is exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned back to plane. The other thing we want to point out is the relationship between the lead form and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. And when we're working on our lesson, this is what we were working on here. I refer to it as the pre-impact position. It simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind our hands. Very important to achieve this position. Not only is it going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, but it allows the club to return back to plane and is ultimately what allows us to hit a straight golf shot. So let's see how you're doing with your pre-impact position here. You create your transition coming into the ball. Feet, knees, hips, hands working. You might still get a little bit of separation with your left arm out away from your core at this point in time. If we take a look at your lead form and your golf club, we can basically say you've got your backwards check mark, but the club has not fully returned back to plane. The nice thing is you are definitely not over top as much, and the shaft of the club is not as steep. So this looks really good. So if we go into the next frame at this point in time, let's see how your club head does to the next frame. So actually right there, we missed the frames in between. So you get to here. So if we just connect the dots, we can see that it still takes you a little long to get back to the red line, back to on plane. Okay, probably doesn't really hit the red line till right about there. And what we notice with Jordan Spieth is his golf club is hitting the red line back here. So that's that pre-impact position we were working on. Given it is way better. This is your driver, so the driver is going to show you a lot more error because it's longer. So you are doing a much better job bringing the golf club into the ball from an on-plane position. Still need to work on it a little bit, but again, like I said, it has improved for sure. With Jordan, we can see the club coming into the ball directly from the red line. Again, this is what allows us to hit a straight shot in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So those are your main three criteria. Got to aim well. Feet have to run parallel to the target line. Club has to return back to plane to be able to hit the ball straight in accordance to that alignment. And then lastly, club face has to be able to square up. At this point in time, we can sort of take a look at the path of the club. You're doing a much better job attacking the ball from the inside. You're hitting the golf ball. Your driver here hits the ground. So you're taking a bit of a divot. Then you're driving through, your right heel comes off the ground, you get yourself through to a really good finish. So everything there is looking great. But I had mentioned to you, I think when you're leaving the tee deck, I said, make sure you talk to me about something with your driver. Well, what I wanted to talk to you about was the fact that you're just not teeing the ball high enough. Okay? So if we bring it back down to address, we can't even see the ball over the roof of the club. So think about this. With a driver, we're supposed to sweep the ball off the tee. Well, you have no room to get that club off the ground and sweep the ball off the tee and get the ball high in the face to add loft and trajectory to your golf shot. So at this point in time, we should be seeing at least 3/4 of the ball over the roof of the club. Then we can sweep the ball off the tee. We can get the ball higher up on the face, and we can create a much better trajectory, and you won't have to worry about hitting the ground. Because your golf ball is teed so low to the ground right now, you basically have to touch the ground to hit the ball half decent. You're making it too difficult on yourself. So tee the ball up higher and sweep the ball off the tee. Really, the reality is you should be able to tee it up as high as you want, as long as you're sweeping it off the tee. And what's going to happen is you're going to improve your trajectory a lot. So make sure when we get together next, and if we're working on pre-impact position, good. If we're working on your backswing, keep the club head in front of your hands longer, no problem. But we definitely, with the driver, we have to get you teeing the ball up higher, sweeping the ball off the tee for sure, because we can't hit the ground. Okay? Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video again, and look forward to seeing you next week.